who I have here with me today is a dear friend, a partner, someone who's been my teacher, my mentor, my big brother in so many ways. He's just been this incredible presence and gift in my life. And so I want to express that to Greg as I get that you're receiving it.
13 years. We've known each other.
Yeah.
Going on.
And so so this is the man, Greg Ehmka, Gregory Roland Ehmka. And he's a teacher, I guess you could even say a guru, and I'll let him define what that means. Because there is a very specific definition, and this is a man of very specific definitions, and creating a very powerful reality in not only his life, but I believe supporting the people around him, people that he offers his tools and technology to, that he shares with them, and that we then also receive this huge gift of being able to do just that. So I want to thank you in public and just kind of let you share a little bit about yourself, maybe, you know, what where you've come from, what you've created, maybe a little bit about, you know, the tools, the wisdom, the technology that you've had other people support you in this. I mean, you've built it on a foundation that's been very powerful.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you've made discoveries that I feel were really important. So whatever you'd like to share around that.
Yeah, thanks, John. I think the first context is that everything that I do that's relative to the work is it has an interesting quality to it. What makes it unique is that it's about supporting you. It's about supporting people. It's about supporting others and myself, actually. And so it sits a little bit like if someone doesn't have an intention, or someone doesn't have a commitment, or someone doesn't have a heart's desire, if someone doesn't want to make a change in their life, or if someone doesn't really want something to happen, nothing happens with this work. It's like a car. If you don't want to go anywhere, it sits in the driveway, does nothing. But as soon as you want to go somewhere and you get in the car, it takes you exactly and precisely where you want to go. So the first thing is, so as a consequence, there's not a lot of presentation to it. There's a sort of a receptive waiting. And then when someone comes into my life, or not John's life for sure, and other people, and they have some desire that's ready to be empowered, then this whole technology, wisdom, our lives kind of kicks into action to give power to the person for their life, for that intention, for whatever they're trying to make happen. So everything we do is really like that. And so it has these qualities of, if there's nobody shows up, we're just going to enjoy our lives anyway. We would be doing what we would be doing anyway. There's no desire to proselytize or enroll or anything. So it has this quality of delightful, joyful, passive flow until an intention shows up. And then everything kicks into action and stuff starts happening and transformation occurs. So, and that is completely equally true of myself. This is, in a sense, what I like to say to people, the only difference between John and I is I've been doing the work 30 years, he's been doing the work 12, 13 years. Yeah. And other people have been doing it 2, 3 years. If you do it 2, 3, 4 years, you're likely to have very similar results to the people at 2, 3 years. If you do it 12, 13 years, you're likely to have John's magnificent result. And if you do it 20, 30 years, you know. So it has this, so all of the hierarchy, all of these teacher-student things, it all disappears because it's all about your own experience and our experience and the joy and love and power in my life is just as important to me as anyone else. And so I apply everything that I have to give or offer to everybody else, I do all the time myself anyway. So it's a real integrity. We really do walk our talk, and that's cool. So yeah, that's the first couple things. So where to go next? Our thought.
Well, did you define guru?
No. Thank you. I do define it because I've been called that many times, very, very, very graciously, very lovingly, very appreciatively, and at other times it's like, I don't need a guru to, and all that stuff comes in, and of course you don't. Y'all do not. And in fact, on my website, one of the taglines is this work is about people who want to become masters and no longer follow one. So it's about becoming a master. So and what's interesting about the word guru is it's a hot word in spiritual circles.
Yeah.
But it's a very empowered word in other circles. Like in the medical world, there are medical gurus. Right. There are economics gurus. There are business gurus. There are engineering gurus. And they like that because they know that a particular person has specialized and researched, and they can count on them. So it's an interesting word that it's a little bit skeptical or cynical in this esoteric spiritual world, but out in the world they actually like it and they look forward to using them. And that's one of the key principles, is you should use a guru. You should use them. And so the difference, it's kind of best to describe it in contradistinction to a teacher. A teacher has a body of information that they have, and they transfer it, and the student takes it and transfers it, and it can include, of course, experiences, techniques, technology, but it's not emphasized. The teacher-student relationship is more one of a transfer of a body of work. The body of work can be more or less important, more or less accurate, more or less the student does whatever they want. The teacher's role is fulfilled when the body of work is presented. But now a guru is someone who, to some degree, has mastered something, or what a guru can do is promise you. He can make a promise to you that if you do what he says, you will have the same experiences. In other words, he knows what he knows as an experiential fulfillment, and so he's done it, and he knows the results that he's gotten from it, and he knows that if you do what he says, you will have the same results. So it has this count-on ability, this reliability. And that's a very useful thing, is to have a business guru walks in the door, he's a marketing guru, sits down with the CEO, pay him thousands of dollars an hour, but an hour and a half later he's got a list of things to do, and if he does it, he will have the marketing results. And I make the same promises. I make the same promises that, if you do what I say, you will have a life that you love, your self-value, your self-love will rise, all the things that you love, from self to relating to life to deity to family, will rise and rise and rise and rise, and that has a direct effect on your money, prosperity, your abundance, your love, particularly sex and intimate relating. It's such an important area that we actually we focus on it, we concentrate on it. It's one of the reasons why the 10-day course ends with this full-on sexual relating with a partner, inside inner guidance, and it takes all that time to build up to it, just because it's so important. People are not happy unless they're in some form of soulmate relating with some degree of sexual satisfaction. So to whatever degree I do play a guru role, I can make that promise. So you come forth, nothing happens until you come forth with the intentions, and then when your intentions come up, we kick into gear and bring forth the wisdom, the technology, and as you apply it, you will have the results. And yeah.